CODART, or Coping Through Death with Art, is a free counseling service for children who have lost someone near and dear. Please welcome Dr. Jennifer Gerlach with the Island University joining us. You're the creative mind behind this force. You've really kind of carved out a niche. We were talking about this while Ryan was doing his weather. What is it about this need for these children, and how does art play into that?
Sure. So CODART is an 8-week free grief and loss counseling service provided to children and their families. And when I moved here, I noticed that there weren't a whole lot of grief and loss counseling services for children and their families who have suffered the death of someone they love. So this was something I did back home in Richmond, Virginia for a while. And
you saw success there?
Yes. I was through an organization called Full Circle Grief Center, and they had very much the same model. So this program is modeled after them. And death is something that's really hard to talk about, and so the art adds the added element of creativity, so children and families can write and draw and paint instead of sitting down and feeling they have to talk about
That's the thing.
things.
Kids, you know, if you have a child, you understand they have emotions, but putting that into words or expressing that can be really difficult
Exactly.
and challenging. So bringing this in, it just relaxes them, loosens them up, and allows them to get out?
Yes, absolutely. It provides another medium for them to express what they're going through without having to talk about it. That's hard for kids anyway, and then you add the added element of loss on top of it, and so then it's kind of the perfect storm for people to clam up. So this is an opportunity for children and families to process their grief and to kind of, for us to allow them help on their grief journey.
To express themselves, I would imagine. Parents are under different challenges today than when we were growing up as kids. Social media comes into play,
Yes.
and the tablets and the smartphones. I would imagine that's, a lot of kids will turn to that when they want to shut out of the world.
Right, absolutely. And when death is really hard for kids, it's hard across the board, but as adults we kind of know what to expect a little bit. It's even harder for kids. And so that social media aspect keeps us connected, but can also make us feel really isolated.
We're going to put some information up on the screen if you're interested in getting involved. How is this free? How are y'all going to make this free?
Yeah, we were really fortunate that we received a grant from TAMUCC, the Impact Multiplier Grant. So the university funded this, and we were really, really fortunate that they chose our project.
You're getting the backing, and that always, it's good justification
Yes.
for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Dr. Gerlach, it's a pleasure visiting with you. I feel like I could talk to you for a whole while because, you're dealing with the children, and we want to make sure they get the care that they need, especially through a situation like this. And hopefully it's a good starting point for some who unfortunately have to go through this type of loss. But thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.